Hi there, I'm Maxwell, and before this episode starts, I would just like to issue a quick apology. During this episode, there were some technical difficulties that ended up with Mathew and Nauman's microphones being a bit off, but we thought the content was good enough to still release the episode, so we hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for sticking around. Hi everyone, welcome to the Convos podcast, where we sit and chat about the nitty-gritty aspects of student life.
We have new main episodes every other Monday, and new Subseries episodes on the Wednesdays in between.
Make sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. On top of that, drop a follow on our Instagram at Convos Podcast. Hope you enjoy.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another cafeteria conversation. I'm Maxwell. Today I'm joined by Nauman and Mathew, and we're introducing another sub-series here that will be coming out every other Wednesday in between the weeks when our main episodes are coming out. This one is going to be called Guy Talk. So of course you guys know we have Girl Talk. This is it's our time to shine, right?
We're talking now.
Right, guys? It's our turn.
Yeah.
Nauman, are you okay?
No, welcome back to another episode of the Cafeteria Conversations,
I already
guys.
said.
I'm
Yeah, so what are we going to be doing? Why don't we start with a bit of intro? What are we going to be doing on the sub-series?
I guess we'll be talking about a lot of things. Stuff that's not too serious, like random stories or things more serious, growing up, how experiences with high school and stuff like that. Switching it up. Of course, we're not always going to be super lighthearted. We're always not going to be super serious as well. But yeah, touching on a lot of things, as talking about experiences, how we're feeling right now, even just random things sometimes. You never know.
Yeah. And today I think we're going to be talking about growing up as a guy and, going through elementary school up until grade 8 before, we transitioned into high school. So, what kind of funny elementary school stories do you guys have that, kind of jump out at you?
Elementary school stories. Dude, oh god, I have some suppressed memories.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I have to think about this. Maxwell, do you have any?
I just want to ask a question. Other than stories, do you guys think you were the kids that were like, I'll just do whatever's cool and follow the trends? Or I have to be different than everyone and I don't feel like I fit in, the
edgy ones?
I'm not like the other guys, kind of.
Kind of, I guess. Yeah, because I think in high school you don't see that as much. We'll talk about it more in our next episode. But I think in elementary school there's definitely a bigger difference, right?
I guess because in elementary, well, at least some people just don't care. You don't really think oh, those people are gonna gossip about me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you just kind of do it. But no, yeah, I guess I was the latter. I was the society. I kind of was no, but I also did follow a bunch of trends. I like trendy music and stuff like that, but I also was 21 Pilots fan.
That's from myself.
Yeah, no. I definitely felt like I stood out more because, we all went through the gifted program. This isn't because of the gifted program. This is just kind of happenstance, but I was one of, I think, 3 people out of 50 that were white. And so, I honestly kind of felt like I stuck out like a sore thumb because, just different ways, growing up. I did a lot of things that a lot of other people, didn't get the chance to.
I remember there was one recess at because Maddie and I went to the same elementary school. Oops. There was one recess where we had a thing where we counted all the white people by finger. We were counting them we were how many white people are there in this school? I think we got up to I think there was 6 white people.
I think we got to 6. It's it was still single digits. It definitely wasn't double digits.
Yeah. So Maddie is 1 in 6.
In the entire school?
Yeah, school. Yeah.
No, sorry, not just in our program. In our program, I think I was 1 of 2.
50%. No. There was 3 people in our grade, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, sorry, 3.
No, there was half white people. So that adds up to 3.
So that
Close enough.
That was like me,
There's 2.
except I'm not white. You know. So like Maddie, you grew up in an elementary school that was all like other cultures.
Yeah.
I was one of the 2 Chinese people in my grade in my elementary school because I grew up in a city that was like majority like white people.
Yeah.
So we got
Swapped
we
around.
we
Yeah.
switched the places. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that did have a big part on like. This isn't as much of like being a guy, but more of like being a kid, and feeling like you're not necessarily the same as everyone else. There was always that like I want to fit in as much as possible. So the area where I grew up, it was like you got the hockey kids, and then you got the Italian soccer kids. So my cousin played hockey, so naturally I was like, oh, I like hockey, and then and I lived like near a lake, so we would always go there and play hockey. And so I was horrible, by the way. I freaking played right-handed until I realized that I kept shooting backhand because it felt more natural, and I was actually left-handed. But yeah, there's stuff like the little stuff like that I think is the reason why I wanted to ask this question, because it's really interesting to see. I don't think everyone is always like a follower or like a leader when you're in elementary school, because when you're a kid and your mind isn't very matured, it's all over the place. Because as a 21 Pilots fan myself, I feel like I found myself in that in-between area, because there was things like, y'all remember, like, what are the things called? The elastic bands that were the shapes. And
Silly bands!
The shaped silly bands, dude.
I had so many of those. They would cover my entire arm and, like, be wrinkled. And then, like, there was, like, Beyblades and...
Oh, bro. Pokemon and Bakugan? Oh my god, I was like a dealer.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like little things like that was just like, because you're a kid, everyone likes those things, you're gonna follow those trends. But then there's bigger things. Like for me, it was like I played soccer because I wanted to fit in with all the kids that played soccer in my area. But then that became something for me because now I still enjoy playing it myself, no matter where I am.
Yeah, there were a lot of sports that I ended up picking up because, can't exactly play hockey on, a grass field during recess. And so I ended up picking up a lot of sports. I remember there was this one game that we played. Okay, so of course we're not allowed bats or anything like that, or for like baseball or anything like that. So you know what we did as kids, in the latter half of like grade 7 and grade 8? We took a Frisbee and we started using it as a baseball bat. And we took a tennis ball. And we started playing baseball with it. It was so much fun, dude. I don't even know how we started. Yeah.
And then I remember like we'd get like random objects as bases. Like we just get like anything we can put our hands on as bases. I remember that, dude. I remember like this is like not related to like this is just like kind of unrelated, but like prime years of my life were like when you'd like have to like ask around and be like, yo, can you borrow your sweater as like a goalpost? That was like, oh yeah. The good days. Anyway,
you guys had nets?
You guys had nets?
Nets?
We had nets, and we had like 3 basketball courts, and then like, or like they're not full size basketball courts, but like tarmac, like playground basketball nets, and then basketball court. We
had a chessboard painted on the tarmac.
Yeah, we had a baseball diamond.
What?
Or the school I went to for 7 and 8 with Ella and Kayla and Anna, we did.
What?
Dude, okay, the most we had a basketball court, and those, like singular poles where you throw the ball at the top and there's like the 3 holes? We had a couple of those, and that's it. Otherwise, it was just a field.
We had 2 designated trees as our soccer goals. Like, this set of trees, I was one soccer net, and this set of trees was one soccer net.
And every time somebody scored, we had to ask the teacher to go get the ball because it
was like, hey, can we walk to the park to get our ball? Because we weren't allowed to park at recess. Dude, if we could.
We had a park pretty much like, there no fence in between. We had a park like 50 meters away from us, but you can't go because as soon as you take a step past this tree line, everybody would the teachers would come out and yell at you.
Did you guys consider yourself the cool kids when you were in elementary school?
No. Definitely not, honestly.
Okay. See, so we were all in the gifted program. Maddie and I are in the same school, in the same program, a lot of the same classes. We weren't all the time, but we were
early on. We were. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. But yeah, before everyone came to our elementary school, that was originally my like home school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was there when it was built in senior kindergarten, and I was there until I graduated in grade 8. And then everyone came in grade 4, right? And I was like, I know everyone in the non-gifted program. I know everyone in the gifted program. Like I know everyone in my grade here.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. So I guess I did feel cool, like popular, because I remember like I knew everyone. I played basketball with one group of people. Then I went and played baseball with Maddie with
Subseries. Because I don't know about your school, but there's a pretty big divide between the mainstream program and the gifted program, and so we would see Numan walk from one group of people over to another group of people. He was a popular kid. He could just go talk to somebody in the other choir.
He's a double agent.
Okay, bro, there was so much beef between the gifted and non-gifted program because to be fair, like a lot of the gifted kids were very elitist, and a lot of the non-gifted kids were really very they're really like, I'm not gonna say aggressive, but like they were just like, oh no, I'm not gonna take that you think you're better than us. And like there were some kids who were very elitist. I'm not gonna lie,
there definitely were.
They're very annoying. I would be very annoyed if I was in the shoes as well. But there was fault for both sides, and it got out of hand. It was very. But anyway, I digress.
No, I went to 3 different schools for the gifted program. Because pretty much, because so I lived like pretty far out from like the main city area of my city. So then when I got into gifted at my elementary school there in grade 3 when you did testing, the school that we had to go to was like a 40-minute bus ride away. So we'd do that. That was the bus ride every day. And then after 2 years there, I moved back to where I am now, like because I was born here, and then I moved away, and then I came back. So then I was here. I went to another school that ended in grade 6 for some reason, because it was like a small school and it was like old, so it ends in grade 6. And then all of the kids are moved, like the mainstream kids go to one school, and then the gifted kids go to another school, and then that's where the last 2 years of your elementary school are. So I was at 3 schools for the gifted program. I don't think, like, there's always this thing that's like what you were talking about with like, gifted kids and like mainstream kids, because they're like there's a great idea that will not idea, but there's this concept, that gifted kids are like significantly more intelligent and smarter because they're in a special program. We'll talk about that more when we do a full main episode about gifted, because I think that's something we want to do coming up soon in the future, because it's such a big thing for us. But I feel like that existed and everyone was like aware of it, but it wasn't too, like, I didn't notice it too much because I played on like sports teams in my elementary school, so then there'd always be like combinations of like gifted kids and mainstream kids, and then like in like band and all that stuff where everything mixes. I feel like yes, you're in separate classes, so then it's like different, but there's still like everyone was still kind of just like, we're in the same grade at the same school, so but we're just in different classes, so it's whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for whatever reason there was just a huge divide between that. I don't know if it had to do with how many people there were, because I think we had 2 classes of 25 gifteds and then 2 classes of like 25 mainstream, so like 100 people total. So maybe that's why there's a bigger divide. I don't know how many people went to your school or like how big the population was, but who knows.
We had like 99 in our graduating class, I think.
Oh, wow.
Like, looking at it in retrospect, it's so unnecessary.
It was so unnecessary, yeah.
Oh god. Elementary school. There's so many like I'm not gonna say stupid, because at the time they felt like big things. But like looking back, like there's so many things which are like just so unnecessary that you didn't in elementary school. They're just like, why did I do that? Like why was I like that? do you guys have any experiences or like, oh god, I do not want to think about like this, how cringe I was in elementary for doing said thing?
I wish I could tell you, but I blocked it all out.
I'm trying to think because like I 100% know, bro. I had so many like bad. I was so cringe in elementary, dude. I'm trying to think. Like a lot of them had like a relating relationships. Like I say relationships lightly. I like grade like 5 relationships. Like you're like your friend notices like you looked at a girl and across the room and you're like, oh shoot, this person's literally dating this person. Let me tell everyone. Oh Maddie, do you remember that thing that like everyone thought me and this other person were dating?
Yeah.
Sat on opposite ends of like the tables, and I didn't know about it until like 2 years down the line. But like everyone thought me and this one girl were dating. I've talked to her once, but I don't know
That was funny.
You know what the style it was?
Do you think I remember? That was 8 years ago now. Like
It was like a huge thing, and like it was such a big inside joke. And I was like, I don't get it. I don't get it because I talked to this girl twice, dude.
Yeah.
Oh god, crushes and relationships in elementary just different breed, dude. Different breed.
Do you guys feel like there was a divide between the guys and the girls in your elementary school when you were growing up?
big time. Okay, because relationships didn't really kind of exist until like tail end of grade 8, at least in our school, until there were like 2 couples, or like I wouldn't even call them couples, you know, like they talk to each other occasionally, you know, sit on the other side of the bench and glance at each other every so often. Like that's what it was at our school.
Yeah.
Like everybody tried so hard to get them to, you know, try and just sit together on a bench, and it was a whole mess.
The most awkward grade 8 relationship stories ever, dude. Maddie knows how awkward that was. But oh my god, yeah, no, there was a huge divide between guys and girls. Like something like they were just like, I don't know, like it was like it ranged from like, oh, let's do guys versus girls for capture the flag. It ranged from that to like you were like kind of like thought to only have like guy friends if you're a guy, and you're kind of weird if you're like have girlfriends in recess, you know. Which is like such a weird concept to me thinking about it now. But like back then, it's like the normal. Like if you have girlfriends as a guy, you're weird, right? And it's like wow.
Now that I think about it, though, honestly, like the only divide was between, you know, people that everybody's, you know, spreading rumors about. You know, they were talking to each other. You know, they were looking at each other wistfully down the hall or whatever. But like I think in general, like our classes were pretty good with like guys and girls, you know, working together, friends, or, you know, just hanging out and stuff like that. There wasn't like a huge divide between them per se.
Especially going into grade 8, like end of grade 7. Like
Yeah.
that was when like becoming super good friends with, like, for example, Emma. Like and yeah, Emma is a girl and I'm a guy, and it's like if that was like in grade 4, maybe you'd be like, oh, what the heck, they're friends. Like yeah, they'd be like, oh wow, Nauman's like friends with a girl, ew. But in grade 8, it's kind of like, yeah, they're friends. So that's cool, I guess. But yeah, so like I think at a younger age, it's always like it's like tension between guys and girls.
Yeah.
Tension, but then you grow up out of it.
Yeah, okay. I got a little character development, character background for you. I went to elementary school with Kayla, Ella, and Anna from like the other people who are part of this podcast, and I'm very grateful for them as friends. If you're listening to this, thank you very much for listening to me complain about lots of things and be annoying. But yeah, so pretty much when I moved back to the city that we're living in now, I was new at their elementary school, so they had already been in school together, I think 2 years, and then 1 year for Kayla because Kayla went a year later. I
think that's what she said. Yeah.
So pretty much what it was like there was like, it was so like, y'all talk about like Oh, we don't think there was a great divide. Like there was a big divide. Okay, like what happened was, anyone that went to our elementary school will remember this. The guys, we were all a friend group, so it was like all of the guys, and then there was like, well, it was like a large chunk of the guys, and then like there was some of the like the smaller groups on off to the side, which I feel bad about like saying, but I was like a follower in that sense. Was like, I stuck with the big group, with the mob, with all my like guy friends that we were close with. So every recess it would be like, oh, we're playing football, we're playing soccer, we're doing something, and then it was like, oh, the girls group is over there. So as much as I say like I was friends with Kayla and Ella and Anna when we were in like grade 6, I barely spoke to them. Like we were in the same class together and we did work together and we were probably friends, like the friend level of like the people you're with class and you're in the same class as, and then you like talk with them and do homework and projects with them, but it wasn't like really close. But then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, all of a sudden in like grade 8, I think was it grade 8? I think it was grade 8 with Kayla and Anna, but I was actually pretty close friends with Ella from grade 6 because we were in the same class, and then Kayla and Anna were in the other class. Yeah, but it's like, it's so weird thinking about it because it's like we're such good friends now and we've known each other for so long, but the first few years we knew each other, we weren't that close. We just knew each other by like association because of this like this idea and this like thing that exists where it's like you're going to get made fun of if you're a guy who hangs out with girls. Like I have to blame myself for this too because I didn't do anything to like stop that, because I would, like what I said, I was part of the big group of guys. We would make fun of the people. We would be like, I think I was a bully in elementary school for the things that I said. Sometimes I would like pick fun at like, because I would poke fun at people that were like talking to girls and was like, oh, you like her, right? And it's like the whole like crush thing, like what it's like, oh, you like her, you're talking to her, why don't you ask her out then, why don't you marry her, all that immature stuff, right? It's so...
Okay, continue.
I think
I've got one.
Yeah, no, it's just, there wasn't. I have a funny story I'll share later, so you can go ahead. I have a funny story. Yeah.
Okay, before I get to this story, yeah, no, there was not that big of a divide. Like, thinking about it, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, no, they were pretty integrated in our school. Like, I remember, like, even, like, grades 6 and 7 going up.
Yeah, it was early on that we actually began, getting along with each other. And it was honestly, like, the groups were honestly dependent on who you were in a class with. Like, you would hang out more with who you were in a class with. Because I remember it was after grade 5 that I didn't, like, because I kind of stopped talking to Numan for a little bit because, we just split classes and you ended up talking to, the people in your class. And it wasn't until later that, we kind of picked it up again and became friends. Because, I mean, friendships, at least for me, friendships kind of fluctuated based off of who I was in a class with at the time.
Mm-hmm. And, like, a bunch of soccer with, like, a bunch of people in, like, of just, like, every section. It was like, wow, nice, cool. It wasn't that big of a divide. But what Maxwell said, when he said, bring it back when he said, oh, you don't like the girl, why don't you marry her? You guys remember the school dances?
Yeah.
And like, the amount of tension between the people that you thought had a crush on each other, which were like kind of like unrelated, like not confirmed that they're like together, but like people know, like, okay, yeah, they like each other. Yeah. The amount of tension, the amount of like it was, it was so funny. And then like if someone would actually slow dance with someone, craziest thing in the world. Wait, did anyone slow dance with in your school, Maxwell?
Probably. I didn't pay attention. I was in the dance circle. In grade 8 at the grad dance, we were going crazy. That was the time of like when it was like when you hit them folks and you got the what was what else?
It was like the
juju on that beat and the name. We had a whole whip circle going on. We were all just going crazy. Yeah, no. Some people probably slow danced. Yeah.
Like in our Halloween dance, there was like just one couple who like slow dance. It was the funniest thing ever, dude.
And it's the weirdest thing because everybody just circles around them, and it's rings and rings of people around this one group of people. Just like
it's like this. It's like No, but it's like far away as well. It's like,
Oh yeah, sorry, no. It's like fully arms extended, like just touching your shoulders. You know, open palms.
Social
Just
distance, social distance.
yeah.
it was so funny.
No, did your teachers ever try and influence stuff like that?
Okay, there was one of our teachers that definitely shipped like a bunch of people.
No way. Am I missing out on this?
Grade 5, our grade 5 teacher. I remember he shipped a bunch of different people together.
We're in the same class?
I thought we. Oh wait, hold on. That might have been the year.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's so what? That's so funny. That's not funny. That's messed up.
Yeah,
But I'm not.
no, I feel
like,
like
wow.
it's really funny because it's like you think about the situation and it's like, okay, there's crushes, you know that, but then you think it's like a teacher who's say like 25 years older than these children
Right?
in elementary school that they're teaching, and they're trying to have influence on like their what they believe is romantic relationships at the time. Like this never happened to me, but the whole thing with like teachers seating people next to each other and like putting them in the same groups for stuff like that.
That is
I don't
so
know. I feel like
weird,
that's
dude.
like that's like a weird thing
That's like
for a teacher to be doing because of like the age and like
yeah, that's
power,
like predatory.
the power.
That's some sort of twisted
dynamic, yeah.
entertainment. Yeah.
That's like matchmaking. But like, oh, that's weird. I like that. I
Matchmaking
like
for minors. That would make.
Oh no! Don't trademark this, please. No. we got Yubo already for that. We'll talk about that in the high school episode. No,
Yeah,
we don't want to talk about Yubo. No. I got a funny story for this actually. So I don't remember which dance it was, but it was like the year before they had like this DJ who would go on the announcements, and he was like, "Yeah, it's DJ Rad Brad," and then we all found out it was these kids that went to our school's dad. So so we were like, "Oh no, DJ Rad Brad." Yeah, okay, so that's another story. This is a side story of a side story. So then the year after that, they were finally like, "Oh, these kids are old enough to know what they want played at an elementary school dance. So why don't we give them the control?" So we made the collab Spotify playlist, and we're like, okay, what's the perfect music? You got like Juju on that beat. What was the other songs? Like the
yeah,
yeah, stuff like that. So there's stuff like that, and then I think it was the Christmas dance. Actually, I don't know why we had a dance for Christmas, but it was like the winter holiday dance.
Didn't we have one as well, Matthew?
We had a bunch of just. I wouldn't even call them dances. It would just be on random days. They would like turn off the lights in the gym, put the stage down, put out a table and a MacBook, hook it up to the speakers. Hey, we have a dance today, kids. Go down to the gym for 30 minutes and have some fun.
Cut the gym in half, right? We had this gym.
Yeah.
They had a little divider. One end fully blacked out, dude. It was the dance, lights going crazy. Spotlights. I mean, like we had little like glow sticks. And then on the other end, we had board games.
For the kids that didn't want to go dancing, you know what you could do? Go play chess with somebody.
Do it.
Yeah, so we made the
Brad,
playlist. We made the playlist. This was grade 8. Yeah, this was grade 8. So we made the playlist, and then we were playing it, and everyone was like, chill. It's like, whatever. It's just an elementary school dance. But then one of the teachers was like, why do you guys put slow dancing songs in this? You guys are the age where you need to like start dancing with people. And we were like, we're just trying to hit them folks and hit the whip and nay to Silento. we don't really start caring about that. And then that's when I was thinking, I was like, that's kind of weird. The teachers were just like, yeah, why aren't there any slow songs, guys? And we're just like, because no one wants to listen to that right now. Yeah. It's an elementary school dance.
I think it's also like a difference of generation. Like I think like it was so like normal back then, like for like little kids to be like hitting on girls, and now it's just like
it's like normal to be friends with girls. Oh
yeah, whoa,
yeah, whoa. Conversations, that's a little bit far.
Yeah, you don't want to get cooties, guys. Am I right?
Oh God, cooties, dude.
Was that ever a thing? Was there like on top of like the divide and like the having friends that are girls and like being made fun of it. Was Cooties ever a running joke?
I just remember the whole crossing the finger thing so that you don't get the cooties touched.
I remember that. That was one thing, and also before Maddie came to the school, so in grade 3 for me, or grade 2. It was grade 2, bro. The cootie epidemic went crazy in our school, dude. It was like, oh god, the only thing that people in our grade could talk about. We were talking. It's like the moment a girl looked at you, you needed to go to the washroom to get the cootie shot, dude. You had to like, bro. We had the cootie shot. It was like this like thing you did with your fingers, and this one guy like administered it and like gave out the cootie shot to the guy. Bro, it was so weird, dude. It was like
The more and more I think about it, our school was a little bit messed up. Honestly, there were some things that
in the
just
lower
don't.
grades, yeah, our school was kind of messed. But our school was it feels like different episodes of The Office. Like, I think like there could be like a bunch of episodes, which is a bunch of little things that happen at our school. Like how this is unrelated. I'm not gonna get into detail, but just stupid. There was like stupid like scandals that happened.
Like what? You have to give one. You have to give one. You have to give one.
One stupid scandal. Oh god. Okay. I'm trying to think. What was like? There was like this one big scandal that we can't talk about.
I guess, yeah. No.
Okay, yeah, like okay, I guess like bringing it back to like a pretty like decent scandal was just like the whole like gifted mainstream thing. Just like, oh dude, like the teachers got involved. It wasn't even like a kid to kid thing. It was like the teachers got involved. There was like talks where you'd all sit in the same group and be like, all right guys, this is not good. Like it was bad. Like it was bad. It was
the whole intervention because I don't even know what caused it or anything, but they're like,
I couldn't tell you what caused it. I could not tell you what caused it. It was
just people, went out and started saying, "Oh, we're so much better than you because we're gifted," or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly, and it was bad. Yeah,
dude, I could not tell you. It was, but anyway, the cooties was something.
Wait, what was the cootie shot? I want to know this.
Dude, it was like, see if I remember. It was like you go like get your arm out. It's like circle, dot, dot. Now you got the cootie shot. It was like it was pretty smooth.
So if
was
a girl
like,
looked at you, you'd have to go, and this one guy would say, "Yo, meet me by the second urinal in the boys' bathroom next to the office."
It was my buddy.
Listen here. How much you get? We're running a limited supply on this stuff here. It was. Dude, it was like grade 2. Oh man, it was a time. It was a time. That's what I'll say about it. You guys ever do dumb stuff to impress girls in elementary school? Or do you know anyone that did?
I did dumb stuff, period. It wasn't for anything. I was just full on dumb stuff.
Yo, I'm gonna have to head out for this one.
You got nothing?
No, I have some stuff. Okay. Okay, let me think. I had like a variety of girlfriends in elementary school.
A variety? What does that mean?
Wait,
some were online.
in elementary school?
Yeah, dude.
In elementary school, you were pulling shorties on the internet.
Minecraft, specifically. Yep.
Minecraft.
Dude,
you had Minecraft girlfriend? Minecraft girlfriend?
I was so smooth. I had like 3 Minecraft girlfriends in the span of like 2 years, dude. I was so smooth. Bro. It was a flawless plan. Go on Minecraft server. Step 1. Step 2. Oh no, before step 1. Get generic skin from like minecraftskins.net. Okay? But it has to be generic guy skin.
Yeah.
Okay? Generic guy skin. Okay? And you go on a Minecraft server. Okay? then you have to go. Just make sure your name is all like super cool, right? I'd have a Mr. Yeah, that was a cringe. Find a person with a girl skin, generic girl skin, and then I slash message the said name. Hey, I like your skin, and I invite them to a party. Boom, friended, just like that. Simple algorithm, worked every time. Not every time, did not work. It took a lot of hours, but it worked 3 times.
And you're sure they were girls?
I was gonna say, man was fully talking to 30-year-old guys with a girl skin on.
I got on Instagram basis with one of them. The rest, yeah, I did, bro. But then I realized they were like, after they became they were like this giant Trump supporter. like 6th grade me was like, bro, what is this? What is going on? And then after we got into touch a year after, 2 years after, and I was like, yeah, Trump's kind of bad. They're like, no, I love Trump. Make America great again. Don't take that out of context, please. So yeah, that was one story. Yeah, one of the Minecraft girlfriends was a raging Trump supporter. The other 2 probably old men. But yeah, I was a player.
You wanna know something we did? Okay. So my family didn't do cable and all that, okay? So when I was growing up in elementary school, I watched my TV shows through we had a cracked Apple TV, one of those Apple TV, one of the the first few Apple TVs. We had a cracked one that just had a bunch of random shows. So I would get shows from there.
Say that legally.
I don't know where it came from. I don't know who did it. It just showed up and they're like TV, and I was like, nice TV. So
TV, let's go.
Yeah. So it was like that, and then there was when we were kids, you could actually watch full episodes of shows on the websites. I don't know if you still can because I don't do it, but there was Family Channel website you can watch episodes. When I was even younger, TVO Kids and stuff like that. Okay. This is adding even more onto how much of a follower I was for the majority of my elementary school career. There was a trend with WWE. Naman, I know you're okay. We don't need to get you started on WWE because you can talk about that for hours. But I knew nothing about WWE at all. But my best friend in elementary school at the time did, who I hung around with. So then it was dude, WWE, did you see last night at the WrestleMania Randy Orton random names? What was the guy with the Rey Mysterio?
Oh, Rey Mysterio, the mask,
all
dude.
that stuff. And then it was I knew the names. I had never watched any WWE. So then I was just like, alright, man, WWE is so sick. And then he was like, alright, why don't we do this? So, school playgrounds, right?
Oh no.
Were your playground? Were they sand?
Yeah, there was sand.
We had a sand pit for when we did triple jump and long jump for track and field, but that's
I think we had a sand park. The playground was sand.
Yeah.
Alright, y'all got sand. We had those the really tiny rocks.
Oh, no. Kind of gravel almost.
Yeah, almost gravel, but not. And they're still smooth rock. So what we would do is, we'd go first. The park was not that close to the elementary school, so we'd all just be hanging out there, and we just randomly wrestle. Did you guys ever just do that at recess? Just
we got sent inside into the principal's office if we even touched each other. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So we did it on the other side of the playground, and we would wrestle. And then one time we were I don't know whose idea it was. Maybe it was mine. Maybe it was another kid's. When we were, this is this is grade 3. We were yo, let's just the spinny slides. We'd we'd climb up the slide and then just jump off it and land in the rocks. And it was so funny thinking about it now because this sounds so stupid, but the girls would hang out in the general area that we were. So for some reason we were hey guys, let's wrestle. And then so it would be so funny because it's 5 little grade 3 kids just like going one by one, running up the swirly slide, jumping off and like landing, and then running back, and then we
Oh my God.
we thought it was so cool, dude. We would do it on. I'm telling you, like, how long was recess when you're in elementary school? Like 30 minutes
Like
or
recess
15 minutes?
25 and lunch is like an hour.
Yeah. So we'd do that the entire time. We'd just be running up, jumping. Can you imagine that? Like a bunch of little kids just imagine you were in grade 8 at that school and you look over at the playground. It's just a bunch of we'd literally just run up the slide, jump off, and like we wouldn't even land on our feet. We'd just like flop off, and then we'd just be like wrestling there.
Bro, that's so
I don't
funny.
even know.
I used to do stuff like that, not at school though. That was just because I was a wrestling fan. You talk about Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio. I literally have 2 action figures of them right there. Give me 5 seconds.
No,
Oh my.
those are dolls. Collect.
Full on, just.
This is Rey Mysterio without an arm, and this is Randy Orton. And then right above me, I have John Cena. I was the biggest John Cena fanboy. Before it was a meme. John Cena, I have a wrestling belt on him. I've got like a whole ring over there. I have like the Big Show, Matt Hardy. Anyway.
Yeah, man.
I digress. I used to love WWE. Maxwell brought it up. Anyway. But no, yeah. I used to do such stupid stuff.
It wasn't for anything, but I remember whenever we got the chance to go to the playground, because, every so often the teachers would cave and we would be allowed to go to the park. I had a very bad habit of wanting to jump off the swings at full height. So I would go flying through the air, and there were so many times where I would just land funny and, like, roll my ankle as I'm coming down, and I would have to, like, limp the rest of the... I was a stupid kid. I don't know what to say.
Bro, our experience at the park was, like... We had this thing. It's hard to describe, but it's like a donut type shape, right?
Donut, dude, yeah.
Talking about because I've been to that park.
Stand on this thing, like this like donut, slanted, right? It's slanted, yeah. It's slanted. You stand on it, and when you walk on it, it's like a treadmill kind of where it turns.
It'll rotate on you.
It rotates. So when you're like a lot of people are on it, and you're all standing, you're trying to balance on. Like, everything is all spinning because there's like this weight and everything's shifting, right? Everything's like spinning. We had this thing where the center of this donut was called the spit pit. Okay? And everyone would spit in this pit, right? And it was like the craziest thing. And these guys were all fighting. Like, we're like all but kind of pushing each other, wrestling on this donut, thin donut. And then the moment someone would fall inside, it's game over. Your elementary school career is ruined.
It's so disgusting because I'm not even kidding. Like, in the middle of the rounds where you're running around, people would still spit in the middle, and you'd see the wet spots on the sand, and it was so gross.
Dark brown, they are gray brown. It was so disgusting. It was like you fall in, you can never show your face again, ever. You're done. Go home.
Touch. It's like the cheese touch.
Get signed out of school. Go home for lunch. You're done.
Oh, no.
You're done. You are done.
All right, I want to know a little bit more about what it was like with like actual crushes at your guys' elementary school, because we talked about like being immature little kids and like making fun of people for talking with girls and like liking people. But what was like the crush like situation at your guys' school?
Personally, did it happen often? Yeah, no, it happened like once for me, like 2 times legitimately for me. But I don't remember like actual like crush things between that. I remember, like on like a level where you can like on a level something just fell in my house. On a level like where you could see someone, like you could kind of take it and be like, oh, they have a crush. Like that type of stuff was like the biggest thing happened was like someone gave their sweater to someone. If you had like a sweater, so Emma wore this one dude's sweater. Boom, everyone. It was around the whole grade, dude. And
you knew it was his sweater because it was like One of his only sweaters too.
Only thing we wore, dude. like in like elementary, guys cycle between like two sweaters and like two pairs of
Yeah.
pants, and just and like it's
This is one of them.
one of them. Oh my god, dude. Oh my lord. So that was one thing. That was like an obvious thing for a crush. Like, okay, yeah. You'd kind of see like spending a lot of time with each other. That's like one big thing at recess.
Mhm.
Up to like with them,
Mhm.
you get up to like talk to them. Damn, like, bro, it's so like I don't know.
It's so funny because I don't think there was ever once even like a handhold. Like I think the most contact was sweaters, and that's it. It was weird.
What about you, Maxwell? What about your school?
No, I want to ask something first. Did people ever like the same person at the same time? Was there ever anything like that?
Triangles.
I'm trying. Oh wait, there was one.
Was there?
Did you really not remember that? There's one big one, and like it didn't. Okay, the thing is, with it didn't really come out until like the summer of grade 8 when everybody was transitioning into high school.
Yeah.
That's when we realized that this person liked them at the same time. That's kind of awkward. And this guy like went from one. I think he went from one to the. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure how that worked out. But
Oh god, dude.
I think that was the worst of it. I think that was the worst of somebody liking somebody else.
100%. There's no way nothing came close to that.
Yeah, no.
What about you, Matt?
Our elementary school, so it was like, because it's always different groups of people, because it was like the gifted group would move from one school to another, but the mainstream kids didn't. So it was different groups of mainstream kids. So I think when we were in like grade 6, that stuff, there wasn't too much stuff. There was always like those, like you always got like the common rumors going around that people would like talk about, and then you wouldn't fully be informed on, so you just like be aware of it. But then that was like when it's like immature adolescent. But then you get to like the grade 7, 8, where you think you're like top dog. You think you're like the best of the best, the cream of the crop, just because you're in grade 8. Little do you know, man. Little do you know, grade 8 kids. But yeah, like in grade 7 and 8, it's like you think you're really mature, and you think you're all that. But then you
think you're
realize,
so cool.
yeah, but then you realize everything about like crushes and like liking people and like dating is absolutely the same as it was in your younger years. There's always still that immaturity and like the making fun of people and stuff like that. So I think it was grade 8. It was like grade 8 in like the last few months when we were all realizing like, guys, we're gonna leave and we're not all gonna see each other because we're all going to different high school and stuff like that. People were just like, yeah, we don't care, we'll just talk about whatever. So that we would always have like, there's like games we play, like Truth or Truth. That's a big
Yeah.
one.
Because nobody had no
What are the odds? What are the odds? That's a big one.
God's paranoia.
Oh my goodness, paranoia.
Yeah,
Bro, paranoia was
that was a big one.
Bro, you play
That was
paranoia at your table during lunch with everyone? That's
did we? I know we started playing paranoia in grade 9. I know that was like hefty in grade 9. In elementary.
yeah,
We played it in elementary a little bit. Yeah.
Did we? Okay.
yeah, I think that's where like
Dude,
we started.
Paranoia is it's a game.
Yeah, no, so
that's all I'll say.
So it was stuff like that. It's like you think you're so mature because you're the oldest in the school, but then you don't talk about like feelings and like girls and stuff like that because you want to come off like you're still kind of like cool top dog. So instead you're just like, hey guys, let's play. Like I remember our grade 8 grad trip. There was one grade 8 grad trip before the curfew on like the first night or something. There was like 30 guys all hanging in my room. We're all just like chilling there. Like it's so weird to imagine because it's a bunch of like 30 grade 8 kids, grade 8 guys, like in one hotel room. Just people like sitting on the floor, people sitting on the chairs, like 10 people on the bed, just chilling there. We're all talking about like the crushes and stuff like that, right? And like girls. And it's like the guy talk, which is ironic because this is what this segment of this podcast is called. But it was stuff like that, and then it was like, oh, if you were to date someone, who would it be? And then someone would be like, oh, it'd be this person, which is like, like, and then it'd be like, okay, your turn. Who would you date? And then they say the same person, and then
Did you ever? Yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah, and then there were times it was like, wait, and then it's like in your head, it's like, wait, I like this person, but then this person also like them, and then it's like you realize you're in grade 8, and it's like, come on, really?
But you don't realize you're in grade 8.
Okay, you in hindsight, you realize you're in grade 8.
In hindsight, eventually at some point you realize, what was that?
Yeah.
At the time, it's the biggest deal, dude. It's like,
Yeah, because
it's
like, dude, we're like in grade 8, everything is like ending, and we've never dated anyone. Someone has never liked us, and it's like stuff like that. It's just like,
right. It kind of reminds me of Outer Banks.
How? What?
I'm getting Outer Banks vibes from this. Oh, we've never dated anyone. Yeah. Never mind.
I don't know how Outer Banks has to do with that, but sure. Yeah, it was funny stuff like that.
Oh, for real.
Like,
Or the other time you would end up talking about those things, or the bus rides on school trips.
Yep. Oh my goodness, that still happened in high school too.
Yeah, that's one thing that just persisted. Just always the best part about school trips, like especially the day trips to like these random festivals.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's a standard thing in elementary school, like this water festival or whatever it was. Did you guys have to do that?
Yeah. The one where it's like there's like multiple stations, right? And like one you learn about like toilet and how toilet works, and then the other station you learn about like where the water goes to get filtered. And the other station is like an actual like well. I remember that vividly, dude. There was like I
Did you never have to do that, Max?
No, y'all had boring field trips, man.
Okay, that was the boring one.
Our grad trip, 1 week to Kingston, or sorry, not 1 week, one day, one night to Kingston, and we stayed at Queen's residence. Y'all went to Montreal, right?
No,
That's sick.
So in grade 7, we went. There was like a 2-night overnight trip to Muskoka Woods. A lot of stupid guy stuff happened there. Like we would what happened? We broke a bed.
What?
What happened there? Oh, there was this challenge. So pretty much what it was like, oh, you're in the outdoors stuff, and we were like, oh, we're little kids in the outdoors, and our parents are not here. We're staying at this overnight trip. So one thing that happened is there's this activity, and for some reason the people who were running the activity thought it was a really good idea to say, okay, why don't we do guys versus girls for this, right? The activity was.
Oh god, okay, yeah. Tell me about this.
I don't think I ever.
Yeah, so they split us into guys and girls, and then what was it? They were like, okay, so you guys have to figure out like the leadership of your groups of the guys and the girls, and then you have to find a good location, and then use all the skills through the not labs. I'm freaking thinking about science. The workshops that we did, learning about like starting fires and like building huts using sticks and everything. And you got to split up your group into like roles and stuff. And then whoever builds the best hut.
Type stuff right here.
Yeah. And then whichever like the guys versus the girls who would build the best hut and work the best as a team would work the best together. So, us being stupid guys, we argued over who would be the leader for a long time, and then we figured out something. We figured our location. We're like, okay, so these people are gonna be collecting the wood, the long sticks and stuff. These people are gonna like start like building stuff, and then these people are gonna start planning other stuff and gathering other materials and stuff like that. Dude, me and my friend did not care about anything that was going on. We were just like running around because it was like a large. It's like a what's it called? A wilderness retreat, I guess you can call it. It's like private property owned by Muskoka Woods, like because it was like a thing for like conferences and resorts and stuff. Not resorts, trips and stuff like that. So we were like running around, and then we got a bunch of sticks, and we're like, you know, it'd be really funny if we stole the sticks from where the girls are building their. So then all of a sudden, hey, I don't want to say it was completely our fault because there were adults who were supervising this that thought it was a good idea to pit the guys against the girls and have nothing happen. But all of us guys were like, this is a great idea. We're just going to run over there. And now all of a sudden we got like 10 people just running over and stealing all of the sticks from the girls. This sounds really bad. Oh my goodness. So we'd stealing.
Oh, really?
We were stealing them and bringing them back to use it for ours. And then, yeah, I mean, we probably got in trouble for that. I don't remember it. I feel like consequence wasn't enough for dumb things that we did as elementary school students.
Yeah. You know the dumb stuff that we used to do? We had so much beef over snow forts.
Bro, there was, like, when I tell you, this is like clan wars, dude.
Yeah.
It was like, no, this was like, bro, it was so, there'd be wintertime. God. You go outside, you get your location, you make a snow fort the first time snow falls, right? There was this one group who had, like, this, like, made out of snowballs. One who's like, freaking laughable freaking small walls, dude. What do you think? You think that's gonna do anything? Anyway, but like, oh man, dude. And you'd collect ice shards as like these are weapons. So you'd put them you'd make a hole in your thing and put them in there.
Yeah.
And then, bro, I remember it was the coolest thing when one person invented a slide in their thing, right? And it was a seat. They made a seat in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
They cut it, dude. Coolest thing ever, freaking! And then you'd I remember there was one where I was begging, I was like, please let me join your class, please. I want to be cool. I want to be. This is the coolest class. This has the best defenses. This is your walls so powerful. I want to be part of your clan, please.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then it all got taken away from us when people started stealing snow from each other, and somebody told the teacher, and we just, from then on, weren't allowed to pick up snow whatsoever.
Oh, I remember.
If you got seen with snow in your hands, you sent inside for recess. It was ridiculous.
I think that
So
happened to
sad.
us too, yeah.
It was so sad. I feel like we can get in a whole actual episode about elementary school and the repercussions.
There's more to
Like,
talk
like,
about. Maybe we'll do a
There's
part
so
2. I
much
don't know.
Yeah.
Because I think
There's so
we were planning to record this and we're like, man, what are we gonna talk about? We gotta remember all this stuff. But it's stuff like this that you don't remember when you try to recall it, but when you're talking about it, it just pops up in your head because it's something that's such a big thing and
it's in the back of your head and just something clicks.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do a part 2. Well, that's something to be discussed. I think that's all we have for today, though. Or am I right? Or are we gonna
Yeah.
Good.
Yes. Okay.
Unless
So,
anyone else wants to say.
I know I got
One
nothing
one.
else here.
I think we're good here.
Twice.
Okay.
All right, we're good. We're good.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of the Cafeteria Conversations podcast. We hope you enjoyed the first episode of Guy Talk. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other podcasting platforms, make sure to drop a follow. If you're listening/watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button right down below and also the big red subscribe button right below it. I said below twice, man. Something's happened. It's too late right now. And also, make sure to drop a follow on our Instagram and our TikTok.
TikTok's coming out, dude.
TikToks. We have TikToks now. They're pretty good. Naman makes them.
We've been having TikToks,
That's fact.
but we're posting them more now. Posting them more regularly.
Yeah.
Follow the TikTok at Cap College Podcast, the same as the Instagram.
Yeah.
Make
So
sure to
make
follow.
sure to check out all of our platforms. They will be linked in the bio. The bio? The description. Thank you for
Description. It's a description.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Capturing Conversations. Hope
Our
you all
first episode of Guy Talk.
Yes. Have a good night.